Hi, this is Eric, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, right down there is a subscribe button. Click that, subscribe with us. We would love to have you along for the journey. I confused it. All right, so then tell me your story.
Oh boy, I'm gonna give you like a short version.
You're gonna give me a short version? Okay, and you gotta introduce yourself and tell me how old you are and then how long you've been sober for.
Okay, I'm Avery Moon. I'm 26. I've been sober for 22 months. I get 23 months on the 29th, so like, anyways. I fucking A. Okay, like I think the whole reason, like I've been like thinking. I sit and think about like a lot of things. I think the reason I started using, honestly, because like I never felt like I fit in with like anybody. Even from like elementary school, like I did not have friends. Like I didn't play with people on the playground. Like it sucked. I dropped out of Girl Scouts. Like. And I would hide in the back playground and just, like, wait for my mother to come fetch me. And, like, I don't know. So, like, I think that's, like, where everything stems from. Like, I always thought I was fucking different, which makes me the same because everybody thinks they're different. Like, I never felt like I fit in. And I always felt like I fucking had so much self-pity growing up. Like, so much of it. Like, I would see my friends, like... I grew up in a fucked up family, but like so many people do that. And like I'd see my friends like going home and like they have like their mom and dads and like they're just completely functional and like my dad's an addict as well. Like he's still actively using and shit. And like I don't know. I walked around thinking I was different, like self-pity, like all that bullshit. I used heroin the first time. Like my family moved around, like we probably moved like 16 or 17 times. And people always ask if we were like a military family. Like, no. My dad just like could not hold a job. And like we just moved. I tried heroin the first time in Minnesota when I was 14. And it was like the China shit. I threw up like 24 fucking times, dude. I remember like I snorted it in a park and went to Wisconsin with my fucking friend's family. And I kept telling her dad to pull over because I was like so sick. But I felt so good. It was so fucked. It was so weird. But yeah, like I first got into heroin in Minnesota, 14. I did drugs before that. Like I never really liked weed. It always made me feel like super paranoid, and I would try to smoke it so I could fit in with people, but like it would make me just sit on the couch and be like, these people are fucking weird, and I'd like overanalyze everybody, and then I'd start to overanalyze myself. And then I'd be like, it got to the point where like I would get thirsty, but I didn't want to get off the couch because I didn't want people to look at me and be like, why is she getting off the couch? She's so weird. Like she's drinking water. Like it was fucked up. Like it was a tunnel of fucked. And dude, I've done acid numerous times as well. I've never had a good acid trip. Like I don't know why, but like always terrifying.
My best acid trips were in high school. I used to trip during school nonstop.
I don't know how people do that.
And then we do microdots too. I don't know if you ever did microdots.
Not done DMT.
And we crush those up and we snort those. And I mean, literally like first period, second period.
Fuck, dude. The only thing I could get away using at school was like Coke and Adderall. And then like if I did anything else, like I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go.
I'm sick.
I don't know, like, yeah.
I remember a girl got really drunk in school once. And I was like, I don't ever want to be that girl.
Right.
Like, just sloppy wasted in high school. Like, having to be escorted out by, like, the school nurse. Like, not a good look.
No. It's not you. It's not you. It doesn't look good. Oh. Okay, so you didn't use at school or anything like that?
No, like, I mean, like, I do Coke and shit, like, and I would do Adderall, and I'd be on one, and I'd be, like, the best student ever. But then, like, other times, like, if I was drunk, or, like, fucking any other drug, like, I wouldn't go. And then, like, I went to 3 different high schools, so, like, by the time I was a senior, like, I wasn't even strung out on heroin yet, like, I fucking got the pleasure of dabbling in it without getting strung out at first. So like that made me think like I was fine.
You got this.
Yeah, dude. Like it was so confusing. So then like I got serious about like my future and stuff. Like
did you go straight to heroin or did you do painkillers?
I went straight to heroin.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just there. I didn't fucking...
I'm just gonna jump right in. Fuck
it. Like, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I didn't plan on it. Like, I never wanted to be a heroin addict. And my friend fucking just had it. And he's like, try this. And I was like, fine. Like, yeah. So, I didn't get strung out, though. Like, super cool, right? But then I like moved down to Arizona. I was born in Arizona and stuff. Like, we just moved. Like, I lived in Arizona, Colorado, Minnesota. My dad lived in like Kentucky and Tennessee, like just a bunch of places. But like, I moved back down here for school, and I had a moment of like, I need to fucking have a future because like nobody in my family fucking had that, and I was like the first person in my family to go to college, and I was fucking straight up like sober Avery, and then I got fucking miserable, and I felt fucking empty, and I had a dude, like I've always had this, like it's like a black fucking hole, like that like stems from like my stomach to my chest, and like no matter what the fuck happens, like I'm not satisfied no matter what, like, and I wasn't fucking happy, like I thought that if I could get into like a good school and like have a good GPA, like my thing was like if I got into nursing school, like my life would be fine, like, and I would be completely satisfied. And I ended up getting into nursing school at 19, and I was working, like I was going to school, I was working at a bar, like I started drinking again, and I met this fucking dude that was just the nicest fellow, like when you first met him, but like he, like, I don't know, like he was always sick, and I was like, what's wrong with you? But I didn't have fucking time to really like realize like something's wrong with this guy. I was so like into myself and like where I was going that like if he was sick, I'd just be like, fine, whatever, like I'm busy anyways. And then like my schedule like started freeing up, like I had a good scholarship, and I just like kind of like let go, and like I would go out on the weekends and started drinking again. I was with this dude one night, and like we were in my car, and I loved to drink and drive. Like I was a fucking, did not care about anybody else. Like I have had 3 DUIs. So I was sitting in my car like drunk as fuck one night in the driver's seat, and like my dude's in the passenger seat, and he like whips out some foil, and I'm like, what is that, dude? Like we don't smoke fucking heroin in Minnesota, like we snort it, like whatever. But he brings it out, and he's like, it's fucking tar, and I'm like, what? Like I was like, get out of my car, you bitch! Like I cussed like that, but like I was like, get the fuck out of my car. And then he was like, stop fucking judging me, you don't even know like what it's like. And I'm like, yeah, I do, like blah, blah. Like my inhibitions were so down because I was wasted. It ended up me fucking smoking black tar.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it fucking did. And dude, that after that, like the next morning I wake up and I like vaguely remember that like I thought it was gonna be some crazy experience, like compared to like I don't know, man. I woke up and I was like, where is it? Do you have more? Like and so he did. And after that, like every single fucking day I was smoking it. And did I think about like what it was doing? No. Did I fucking remember doing it in Minnesota and not getting dope sick? Yes. And I didn't fucking know. Like I was in my fucking psych rotations, like where you learned about addiction. Like my dad's a fucking addict, my uncle's a heroin addict, but like I did not fucking think about like where was my brain? Like I wasn't thinking. And
we normally don't though.
No,
you know,
like,
it's the time that we don't
and
think,
that's
and
the
it's like
shitty thing. Like it was uneducation. Like my parents didn't talk about it. Like yeah, like I would see my dad like getting sick and judge the fuck out of him. I'd always sit there and be like, why are you going to fucking detox and coming back 2 days later, motherfucker? Like stay in fucking rehab. Like I don't know, but like so that went on for like a few weeks, and then I finally woke up and I was like, I'm going to fucking clinicals high on heroin, and what am I fucking doing? Like I need to stop. So I tried to stop. I remember that first night, I went like 18 hours without it, and I started, like I had clinicals the next day. I had to be up at like 5 a.m., and I couldn't sleep, and I was aching and sweating. I felt sick, man, and I was like, I told my dude, I was like, something's wrong with me, and he's like, no, nothing's wrong, you're just fucking kicking. And I was like, what? And he's like, you're dope sick. And I'm like, what? Like, what is that, dude? Like, and oh my god. And like I fucking called out of clinicals the next day. I tried like so hard on my own willpower to like get through that, I lasted like 30 hours, and I was like, fuck this, like, we need to pick up. And yeah, like, I remember like getting the heroin. I was like, I smoked some of it, and like all my symptoms went away. My depression, my anxiety, like all went away. Like, he and I like continued to use. I continued to go to school. He was like really, really abusive, which like started a long thing of abusive dudes after that. But like he fucking sucked, and I would end up going to my dope dealer's house. Like there were two brothers. And I would just sit there and fucking cry, dude. Like, I had fucking marks all over me, and, like, they were, like, my solace. Like, they, like, were my fucking, like, I would go there, cry, they would take care of me, they'd get me fucking high, and I fell in love with, like, both of them, and I left my boyfriend for them, lived in Motel 6 with them, get fucking high, and then came, like, shooting up. I remember I shot up the first time, and I woke up the next day, and they already had a shot ready for me. And they were like, we just figured you'd, like, want to keep shooting up after you smoked it. Like, it's so much better. And I was like, fine, like, here's my veins. Like, get me high. Let me go to school. Like, and that fucking happened all throughout. I don't know, man. Like, let me just tell you, like, I had no guilt when I was using either. I would get I would do a shot, go to clinicals, bring some dope to smoke in the bathroom to keep me, like, well throughout my 12-hour shift, and I didn't think about the patients. Like, I was giving fucking IVs. Like, I was, like, learning how to give medication to patients. Like, that's fucked. Like, now that I think about it now, like, that was selfish as fuck of me. Mm-hmm. Like, that was super selfish. And, I just, like, I went through that, and, like, those two dudes, I still talk to one of them, but, like, they ended up moving to Alaska and, like, leaving me by myself to, like, fend for myself. And I had met, like, other dealers in the process of that. It's like, yeah, I was, like, getting high, but I was like, I need to go to detox and, like, quit all of this shit. Like, stop. Years had passed by, though, like, throughout this whole thing. Mm-hmm. That's my short version. But it was years. And I went to Community Bridges. It's this, like, free detox center. I fucking love this place. People hate it. There's, like, cockroaches and bed bugs, and, like, it's, like, a room of, like, 20 people. And I went there the first time and made it into their detox, which is, like, so hard to do. Like, they make you sit there.
Prove you're sick enough.
Yeah, dude, I fucking threw up, like, in the rocks. I was sleeping. Like, I got stranded there, and I had this, like, itchy, like, little, like, blanket you would get from Mexico. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Those itchy fucking ones. And, like, I'm, like, puking in the rocks, and, like, make it back to detox. And, like, I remember sitting in detox with these people, and they're all like, yeah, this is my 6th time here, this is my 5th time here, and I'm, like, sitting there, like, why the fuck are you guys coming here so often? Like, I'm never coming back to detox. Like, I'm getting clean, and my life is gonna be great. Like, fuck this. I get through detox, and literally, I don't go to rehab. Like, I go to sober living, and I see all these people, and they're telling me to do chores, and, like, I have to fucking, like, have an accountability buddy, and, like, they wanted to, like, have my school. I was still in nursing school. I had a break. Like, I was planning on going back. Like, I, like, had taken, like, 6 days off, and I was going back, and I remember, like, I had a fucking meeting with the dean of my school, like, the next day after I checked into sober living. And I look at these people, and I'm like, I can't do this. And instead of walking out of the front door like a normal fucking human, because you can do that, you can leave in sober living, come and go. I fucking waited for everyone to fall asleep, and I, like, grabbed my backpack, left all of my shit there, and hopped over the back fucking wall. And, like, escaped, like,
you can walk out the front door, it is okay.
Like, I didn't even, like, I couldn't walk out the front door. And I, like, immediately, like, called my friend, and I was like, dude, I need to get high. I'm so dope sick, like, I'm coming out this Suboxone, like, please help me. So I show up at her house. On the way to her house. I still had a car at this point. On the way to her house, though, like, I stole some fucking vodka. Or no, I stole a fucking, like, 40... something from the gas station, alcohol. And I get fucking drunk. I'm, like, drinking and driving. On the way to her house, she gets me... She, like, loads me up. Like, she shoots me up, like, a half gram, like, after being, like, off dope for a little while. And, like, I just... not out. And I wake up the next morning... And I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, what time is it? And I had, like, literally 30 minutes to get to the meeting with my dean. So I show up there. I'm, like, still fucking half high, like, coming down. They can, like, smell, like, the booze on my breath. And they literally were like, we called you into this meeting because, like, we're really concerned about you. Like, you've been acting extremely flighty. You're super pale. Like, you're just not dependable. Like, what's going on with you? And I was like, nothing. Like, why are you guys up my fucking ass? I immediately get defensive as hell. And, like, they pulled out an oral drug test. I fucking bit their drug test and, like, ruined it. And then the dean was like, you're going to go take a UA. And I'm driving you personally to take a urine sample right now. And I was like, what? I'm not prepared. I don't have fake urine. Like, all this shit. I was so mad. And I was like, whatever. Like, fuck it. And I went. And, like, for some reason, I thought that, like, the fact that I went to detox for those, like, few days. Like,
You were totally clean. You're going to pee clean.
yeah, like, I thought that the heroin wasn't going to show up. But, like, I don't know. It did. Mm-hmm. And it showed up positive for, like, a bunch of other shit, too. Like, showed up positive for, like, amphetamines, heroin, like, alcohol, like, all of this shit. And so I got fucked. I got super expelled, and after I got expelled, like, that's when the real shit started to happen. Like, there went my future. Like, everything I had worked for, like, cut, done. And I had nothing. I gave up. I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna become a career junkie. Don't have anything else to do. And I stayed at my friend's house for a little bit, and I, like, convinced my old dealers to buy me a plane ticket to Alaska so I could move up there and, like, be clean with them. Yay. So they fucking did. And, like, I used up until that point. I had, like, a shit ton of Klonopin, like Xanax. I ran out of the Xanax, like, the second I get to Alaska. And so, like, I'm kicking dope. My Xanax is gone. And I'm with these two people that I didn't know, like, sober. Like, I didn't know them sober. Like,
right.
We only knew each other as fucking heroin addicts, and it was I was fucked. I didn't leave my room for, like, probably, like, a few weeks. Like, I made them, like, bring me water and shit. Like, I wasn't socially capable of leaving the room to have a conversation. Mm-hmm. And it was the same thing. Like, I don't want people looking at me. Like, I don't want people, like, thinking anything of me. Like, everyone's judging me. And it was just terrible. Like, and after that, like, we all, like, got up there. Their older brother was the one that, like, lived up there. And he was growing and selling, like, mass amount of weed. And so, like, that's how we were, like, paying our bills and shit. So I learned how to grow weed in the process of, like, coming off heroin and fucking benzos. And I liked that. Like, it gave me, like, a little bit of purpose to, like, get up and, like, fucking, like, trim some fucking plants and, like, bag them up and, like, fucking water them and spray neem oil on them, like, all of this shit.
Neem oil?
And, yeah, like, neem oil. I don't know. But it was terrible. And I started, like, I was dating, like, one of the dudes when I was up there that I thought I was in love with. And then all of a sudden I thought that I was in love with his brother. And that sucked because I went out on it was my 22nd birthday. And I got fucking hammered, and I was like, I'm fucking you tonight. Like, I love you. And I waited for the brother I was dating to fall asleep, and I crept into the other brother's room like a fucking hoe, and fucked him, and, like, passed out. Dude found me, like, naked in the bed the next morning, and we all three, like, just were in tears and crying. Like, it was no fighting, so, like, that just made it worse.
Right.
And I was like, I have to go home. Like, I fucking have to go home. So, like, I somehow made it back to Arizona, and I found heroin up in Alaska, like, once, and it was, like, $300 for, like, half a gram. It was so expensive. I got ripped, but, like, I came here, and, like, I had a fucking long time off of heroin. Like, I had almost a year off heroin, and the second I landed, I had already been planning, like, to meet up with my friend Jose. And I met up with him in this trailer park, and I got fucking high, and, like, I pretty much, like, I got high, and then the other dude, like, the brother, like, pawned an Xbox and bought a plane ticket and came down here, and we, like, he was sober, and, like, I was, like, high and like trying to convince him I was sober, and he's like rubbing my feet and I'm like nodding out, like telling me it feels so good, like ugh. But I didn't care, like I had nothing, and I continued to use. He ended up relapsing too, and then I don't know what the fuck even happened. I think like that's when I wanted to get sober. I don't know, like I randomly
You went
wanted
to
get
like
sober.
12 rehabs?
Yeah, I went to like 10 fucking rehabs after that. Like 10. I like
Then
found
just
this,
relapse afterwards.
yeah,
and then
like
go
I
back?
found this chick that like got me health insurance, and then like she got paid to get me into rehab. Like the insurance paid her, so like I just got a free plane ticket to California. Oh, yeah, started doing porn like on heroin, all that shit too. But like stopped.
What got you into porn? I'm just curious, especially because
I'll tell you,
was it
when I was
money fuel
19,
for dope?
When I was 19, I met a guy that owned a porn agency down in Arizona. I started dating him, and like he got me into porn originally, and I never have had money in my whole life, like ever. And like the first time I got paid, I was like, motherfucker, yeah, like it's on. Spent some on like Filiberto's burritos. Spent some on heroin. Like bought some fucking new shoes that I ended up having to return because I ran out of money and I needed dope. Like all of this shit. I don't know. I just feel like so much happened in that time. But like I would like shoot, do porn, get money, get heroin, blah blah blah. Stopped. Went to California for rehab. I would stay there for like a month. Get like cured and then go back out, use more heroin. Fucking would have like talks to myself in the mirror like, you are not going to go back to rehab ever again. Like you're gonna do everything in your power to not go back to fucking rehab. And then like before I know it, I'm fucking strung out again, kicking in fucking rehab. Like what the fuck, man? And that's what really baffles the hell out of me. Like I wanted to get sober. Like, I wanted to try to go back to nursing school. Like, I had all these fucking dreams, dude. Like, I wanted to fucking keep the money that I got from porn and not fucking, like, I wanted to do something. Like, and I just felt like I was trapped no matter what I did. Like, no matter what the fuck. Like, I was looking for all these solutions around me, like people, like material items, like something to keep me sober, but, like, nothing could. Mm-hmm. And that just, like, made me fucking like I don't know, like there was like I think it was after like the 8th rehab I went to, I ended up back in this motel and I had like 3 months sober, but I was just like in this completely fucking like $30 a night motel, and I'm by myself. I was like dating this chick and I told her I was going back to porn and she got mad and like left me, and so like I fucking like pick up a bottle of vodka and I start drinking it, and then I literally, like, felt so alone, dude, and, like, hopeless that, like, I was like, fuck all of this. Like, I've tried to get sober. It doesn't work. I've tried to fucking find some happiness and peace, and I can't find it. Like, I'm never gonna find it. And I, like, came to the conclusion that, like, I'm gonna go down to Skid Row. It's like, that's where I would get fucking heroin in California. Mm-hmm. And I went down to Skid Row, like, bought a fucking gram with, like, my 3 months sober ass, like, and I, like, wrote out a suicide note on my phone, like, and I, like, took the lock off my phone in case anybody wanted to see it, and I didn't reach out to anybody, because I didn't feel like I had anybody to reach out to, like, at that point. I don't know, like, and so, go down to Skid Row, buy a gram, fucking get needles, get ripped off. Dude sold me fake dope. So after that, I went to every single door of that shitty motel, and I knocked on it because I was hammered, didn't care. And I was like, does anybody know where to find dope? Like, can someone find dope? Like, and I found the right person. He fucking shut me down first, and I was like, well, this is my hotel number in case you change your mind. I was like, I have a tolerance, so, like, if you can shoot me up, like, you don't have to worry, like, I'll be fine. I, like, tricked this motherfucker into shooting me up with, like, a gram of dope to kill me. And, like, the last thing I remember, like, was, like, him coming into the hotel room, he puts a needle in my arm, and I'm out. I'm fucking out. And I wake up in the hospital a few days later, and my mother's there, and, like, I'm all yellow and swollen. I have, like, tinnitus, like, ringing in my ears. I have a catheter in me. my ass muscle, like, my ass muscle got, like, eaten away, like, from, like, laying there dead. Like, I had to, like, rhabdomyolysis or whatever, and I'm just like, what the fuck happened? Like, I had no recollection of anything, and, my mom was just fucking in tears, dude. I guess the hospital called her and they were like, you have a few hours to, like, come say goodbye to your daughter. Like, you need to get down to California. So she drove from Arizona to Cali, like, made it there to say goodbye to me, but, like, somehow woke up. I don't know. Like, I have a fucking bald spot on my head from that. I do. Like, can you see it still?
Yeah.
It's been years. Like, my hair fell out. Like, I don't know. So after that, like, I convinced my dear mother to, like, take me back because, like, sober California life isn't working for me. And so she takes me back. She's, like, nursing me back to health. I get a serving job. I still can't really hear very well. So, like, everybody I walk up to the table, I'd be like, hi, what can I get you? And I'd be like, can you repeat that one more time? It's kind of loud in here. Like, I couldn't fucking hear. And I, like, dude, I lasted, like 3 weeks. 3 weeks, and I'm fucking, like, back on my fucking hustle. Like, I have tip money now. Like, what can I fucking do to get out of my fucking... I was depressed as a motherfucker. Like, done. And I just wanted to get high. So I, like, found people to get high with. Called my old friend that I got high with before I got expelled from nursing school. And she introduced me to this, like, lovely young man that deals heroin downtown Phoenix. And she's like, look, like, if you're gonna get high, just, like, go through my dealer. And I'm like, all right, let's do it.
I'm in.
I didn't have a car anymore at that point, so, like, we took an Uber to, like, downtown Phoenix, and this dude opens the door. He's, like, had, like, long hair, was wearing, like, a blue flannel, like, totally my style. Like, I fucking... Oh, another thing that, like, kept me in my addiction for a long time was, like, I am obsessed with Kurt Cobain, and I will never, like the average fucking junkie, like, but he had the same, like, the flannel and the hair. Like, it was great. And I fucking, like, I remember, like, picking up dope, and he, like, let us inside and, like, let us get high in his room. And I was fucking, like, high around this, like, dude that I thought was super hot, and, like, my friend, and, like, I had everything I wanted, and all of my shit went away. Like, I love heroin. To this day, I love it, but I will fucking kill myself over it. And I've overdosed, like, 3 times from it. Like, counting that time I was in it was a medically induced coma where they found me in the hotel room. But, like, the other 2 times, like, there was one time I got so sick, I agreed to sleep with this, like, old Mexican dealer. I can say that I'm Mexican, but, like, he was disgusting. And he called me, and he's like, I'll give you... Okay, I'm not good at accents. I'll turn into, like, never mind. He's like, I'll give you 7 grams if you fuck me. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, like, I guess I'm on the way. And I fucked this dealer, and I felt so shitty about it. And right after that, I'm, like, sitting with 7 grams. I go to the CVS parking lot, which is right down the street, by the way. Like, I live where I fucking used and caused this habit.
Oh, wow, okay.
And, I, like, shoot up in the CVS parking lot, and I overdose. And I wake up in the hospital, Narcan as fuck sick. And I remember, like...
All your dope gone.
Dude, all my dope gone. Like, the cops fucking, like, came into the room, and I was on Klonopin again. And I put my dope in my Klonopin bottle, and they're like, is this yours? And I was like, yeah, like, where'd you find that? And, they pulled out, like, 7 grams of heroin, and I'm like, I don't know where the fuck that came from.
That isn't mine, I was holding it for a friend.
Like, yeah, no, like, so then, like, they leave the room, and, like, the dude that I, like, met up with, my ex, like, I was like, hey, like, is the coast clear? Like, are there still cops around? And he's like, no. So I rip my IV out, and I run out of the hospital. I literally, like, I'm like, check to see if those doors slide open slow or fast. Like, just go walk. And, like, he did, and I, like, ripped the IV out, and I fucking bolt from that hospital. The cops end up fucking chasing me. They weren't gone. They chased me. I'm in a medical gown, and I'm, like, running through the fucking the fucking parking lot, like, trying to, like, dip and dive and, like, hide like a crazy person. Because I just wanted to get fucking high. I was Narcan sick, and these cops found me and tackled me, put me in an arm bar, took me back to the hospital, where I had to fucking have a wrist strap
Uh-huh.
to the bed and detox, and that sucked dick. I fucking obviously like got discharged a few days later, back to getting fucking high. Like, you think a normal person would be like, damn, like, I need to stop.
Right.
No, it doesn't fucking stop ever. I just, fuck, dude, I don't know. Like, there's so many
It's funny when you
escapades.
recollect it all, because it's just like that, all those emotions and stuff. Because it's like it was yesterday. It's no matter how fucked up you were, and you had like those clarity moments where you remember it, and just all that adrenaline emotion comes back. It's like, fuck.
And it's terrible. It's scary, dude. Because like I gave up everything. Like I worked my ass off for my fucking car. Like it ended up getting stolen, but like my dad stole my car. But like he crashed it. Fuck that. Whatever. Different story. But like I ended up giving up everything, dude. Like, I gave up my future. I, like, gave up my home. Like, I was, like, homeless in California, like, sleeping on the fucking beach because I wanted to get high. I could have gotten sober and stayed in sober living and had a safe place to live, but, like, no. I decided to be fucking homeless. I, like, camped out with people at Skid Row, like, in their tents and shit. I, like, was going back and forth into porn to, like, get some money. I was, like, telling my old agent, like, one time I called my old agent and I was like, yo, like, I have a really bad toothache. Can you please, like, front me the money for my shoot? And he did. And I fucking picked up with that. Like, so many things. What had stopped, like, finally, like, after all the rehabs, all the detoxes, being fucking homeless, being beat the fuck up, like, I had somebody come into a hotel room, like, point a gun at me, and, like, dude, just so many things that, like, would scare, like, an average person away.
Right.
Like, it didn't fucking scare me. And, like, all I saw, I was like, tunnel vision, like, heroin. You must get it. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, all I saw was dope. And what had finally, like, came to the end, like, I wasn't ready to stop when I got sober. I was prepared to die a heroin addict. I would, like, look out of my window and see, like, functioning families, like, with their dog. I ended up moving in with the fucking dope dealer downtown, like, dating him, getting fucking, like, beat up and, like, treated like a dog. But, I would look out of his window and look at these people functioning and living, and, like, I could never do that. Like, I will never be like that. What had happened was, I, like, went back to, like, California to shoot some porns. Flew back in. I was, like, transporting dope in my fucking check-in bags. Like, I would put heroin in, like, chocolate chip cookies and, like, remold them because I was so paranoid that I would get caught. But, like, I couldn't go there without heroin.
Right.
So I got back to Phoenix, and I land, and I'm, like, getting high. Like, we're fucking dudes in a fucking, like, red satin boxing robe, and I'm just in his boxers, and we're high. And we, like, he, like, goes to sleep, and I am, like, sitting on the toilet, and I'm just gonna say this out loud, like, heroin makes you extremely constipated. So, like, heroin addicts don't shit. I didn't shit for weeks, and I'm, like, sitting on the toilet, like, trying to get my business done, and, like, it's, like, almost 6 a.m., and I hear, like, a fucking thing, like, bust through the glass, and I hear, like, the door getting broken down, like, the front door, and then I'm sitting on the toilet, like, what in the fuck is happening? Then, boom, the bathroom door fucking bolts open, and it's the cops. And I get arrested on the fucking toilet seat. I didn't even get to shit. Like, I got arrested, like, and, like, they're like, pull your fucking pants up. They raided the fuck out of that house. Like, he had guns. He was selling, like, meth, heroin, like, Xanax. We had, like, over 300 pills of Xanax for sale. I don't know how the fuck, but, like, so yeah, like, we got raided. I go to jail. I had been arrested, like, numerous times before this, but, like, I had been released, like, immediately. Like, one time my dad's friend from the methadone clinic, like, bailed me out. I got arrested down, like, in, what's, like, the Mormon city, Gilbert or Glendale, where all the Mormons live. I had kicked in Mormon jail. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, I went to 4th Ave jail, dude, and I started kicking. And I was in there, and he gets arrested, other dude gets arrested. Like, the third dude that was with us was older, and he was a heroin addict. He ended up, like, shitting his pants in jail, I guess. Like, that sucks. I ended up just, like, throwing up and being disgusting, but, like, all the girls in the jail cell, like, took care of me somehow, which is, like, something you wouldn't expect, but, like, we were, like, making beds. 4th Ave jail is, like, a big fucking box, and it's concrete, and, like, you're just packed in there until like you get like moved. We were like making beds out of toilet paper, and like some girl like took her jacket off and like let me wear it, and like it was quite it was like the worst experience of my life, but like it wasn't as fucking bad. Like I don't know, dude. So like I didn't even. That was like the last. That wasn't the last time I used heroin, but I was put on pre-trial probation. Dude was sentenced to 6 months in jail. Other dude fucking ended up dying, like, eventually. But, so, I stuck that shit out. I was buying fake urine, like, before my fucking court date, like, trying to fucking pass, like, the drug tests, not passing the drug tests, getting fucked, got a felony, other dude got, like, 6 felonies, like, and I finally, like, went to my court date, and they were like, you have failed every UA that we've given you, like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, I don't know, like, I can't get sober. So they gave me the option, like, they gave me, like, the full sentence, which would have been 2 years in jail, or go to fucking rehab for like the fucking 10th time and like be on probation and all of this bullshit, and I didn't want to go to rehab. I fucking like, I was like, I'll think about it, like I have a fucking like public attorney, like all this shit, and like when my public attorney told me that, like I ran out of his office. I thought I was gonna like escape somehow, like, and no, that didn't happen, like I didn't escape, but I got sentenced to go to rehab. And I had to stay there, like, I had to be in that thing for, like, 6 months. So I, like, stayed in fucking inpatient for, like, 3.5 months and then did outpatient after that. And I was so fucking, like, I wanted to kill myself again. Like, all of the times that I've gotten sober and haven't worked a program or, like, hadn't had a relationship with a higher being, like, I want to kill myself. Like, I sliced my wrist, like, multiple times. Like, I've had to get stitches. My fucking tendons are fucked up. Like, I get so fucking low for some reason. And I saw these people in that, like, they would take us to outside meetings in rehab, and, like, these people were, like, smiling and laughing and, like, happy and shit. And I was like, dude, like, I fucking have to do this. Like, I don't have a choice. Like, I'm going to kill myself. And I, like, finally, like, went to a meeting, and some girl, like, approached me, and she's like, do you need a sponsor? And I was like, fuck. I was like, yeah, I do. And, like, same thing with what she said. Like, I was so desperate, dude, like, for something, like, anything of, like, what I had been feeling, like, my whole life, on fucking drugs, everything. And, like, I finally was like, yeah, like, please, like, I'll do whatever you say. Like, she asked me, like, I had tried to do AA before, like, in all the other rehabs. I didn't do it to, like, the fullest degree, like, I half-assed it. But finally, like, I was like, I'll do everything you fucking tell me to do. Like, a 4th step, for example, is, like, when you tell somebody, like, all of, like, your resentments and, like, all the bad shit you do, and you find out your character defects. My 4th step lasted 12 hours, like, in increments, but, like, 12 hours with her. And I fucking told her everything. I fucking wrote down, like, all the opposite actions of, like, my defects. Like, instead of lying, I'm honest. Instead of, like, manipulating, like, I don't fucking do that. Like, and I did all of it. And there was, like, a time, it was, like, right after I finished my 4th step and, like, realized that this girl, like, still loves me and, like, didn't judge me. Like, after all the fucked up shit I told her about myself, like, I felt, like, free for, like, the first time. And, like, I can't remember. And I remember, like, I shared at a meeting without being called on, which is a huge thing for me, because I'm always, like, thinking, like, people are judging me, like, all this shit. But, like, I didn't give a fuck, and I felt good, dude. And, like, something fucking happened. Like, they say in, like, the 12 steps, there's, like, a psychic change. And, like, I think that I fucking had it. Like, I can fucking talk. I can do this shit right now. Like, I would never fucking do this shit in the past, like, ever. And, so, like, I ended up, like, doing the 12 steps. I, like, sponsored girls after that, and, like, taking them through the steps. Like, I got out of rehab, went to fucking sober living when I didn't want to. I stayed in sober living. I, like, went to the first sober living for like 8 months, and then I like got asked to manage that other sober living, and I think I moved out with you like right after I got a year sober. Like, yeah. So I did the full thing. I like had to fucking commit, and I fucking did the meetings like every single day. Like it was my schedule, and I am so fucking grateful for number one, my sponsor, because she's like just, I don't know, like just feeling like that unconditional love. It's like the same love that like my mom gives me, but it's different when it's not from your mom. Like I don't know, like I don't know. I think that's what saved my life. I also have like a crazy fucking connection with a higher power now, and I see like why things happened the way they did. After I moved out like with her, I got another fucking terrible boyfriend that beat the shit out of me and was like locking me in closets, like raped me in my closet, like hit me in the face like with a skateboard. Like I started cutting myself in sobriety. Like I have scars on my fucking legs because I got to the point where like I was miserable again, felt fucking alone, felt like people were like not safe to talk to, and I would like, this guy would like trap me in my house. He would like take the SIM card out of my phone, and everybody like, including me, thought I was gonna relapse, but like I got to the point where I was like, I'm not gonna give a fucking human that power over me to make me fuck up my shit again. Like, no. Instead, I'm just gonna go in my car and cut myself and listen to fucking Nirvana. But like, it got like, and then we had a falling out. Like, she was fucking sick of it. She didn't want me to be around this guy. So like, we fucking pretty much like, she put all my shit out, which is like the best thing you could have done for me. She
kicked all of us out.
Yeah, we all kicked each other out. And so then it transpired into me and homeboy that was beating the fuck out of me, like sleeping in my fucking car. Like, we went and like found this trailer to live in, and like it was hot. It was really, really hot. Oh wait, no, before that we lived with another man, and then we got kicked out of that too. And it was really fucking abusive, dude. I had to hit somebody in the face with a copper pole because they were like attacking me. And like, I fucking literally, like, I can say this now, like, I have been raped like 2 times in sobriety since I've been sober. Like, and it's fucking gnarly, dude. Like, like by 2 different fucking people. And I've gone through so much shit, like, since I've like gotten sober. Like, did not think I could get through, dude, like at all. And like, if I didn't have people like her and like my higher power, like I would be so fucked. Like, I don't think I would be here. I ended up getting a restraining order on that guy, and like fucking like not having, I like stayed at my sponsor's house. Like, I didn't have a fucking place to go, and I ended up like, I work at a learning center. I have worked at a learning center, and like the people there were even helping me. Like, the dude totaled my car, and my bosses were like picking me up for work and like taking me, and like I would see like, I work like by the fellowship, so I would see people like walking around, and they would like talk to me before I went into the learning center, and like, dude, if I didn't have those fucking people, like I would have just fucking ended, like I don't know where I would be. But I like, now I have a place that I live at by myself.
You got your own place. You got your car.
I got a fucking, yeah, like I have my dream car. I'm so weird for crying right now, but like,
no, you're not, because like anybody who's an addict totally gets it, and I totally even get with like the dream car thing. Like, that's huge. Like,
yeah,
it's
dude, like
huge.
I went from being fucking homeless, like on Skid Row, getting the fucking shit beat out of me, to like now I have my own place. Like, I have a fucking relationship with this girl again I didn't think I would have. Like, I love you so much, dude. Like, I don't know, like in my sponsor, like, and I don't know, dude, like I'm so fucking grateful. Like,
I don't think I've ever met another person that has had such like bouts of the most terrible situations and terrible luck, followed by the most amazing blessings.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
over and over again. It's like I don't necessarily believe in karma, but like this, like if karma exists, like she is working through some serious fucking karma.
Whatever you did in that past life or whatever's catching up,
like the
day by
most
day.
horrifying thing, like
Yeah.
have happened to her, and then the most amazing things happen to her, and you're like, how the fuck, like, I don't know, it's like, it's fascinating
weird.
to be, like, in her life and just, like, witness her, like...
It's a lot of fucking strength. I give you fucking props. I mean, I give you hardcore fucking
Get
props.
sober,
I
stay
no fucking
sober,
bullshit.
like,
Thank you.
Yeah.
it's just, it's insane, and then continue to make, like, I mean, I will say, like, bold decisions to, like, go back to porn and, like, get a place on her own and, like, be in her house by herself when she's, you know, like, there's PTSD from this shit, you know?
Fuck yeah.
And, like,
Fuck
to
yeah.
be, like, the other thing that I want to say is, like, when I was in sober living, like, I had, like, kind of gone through, like, a breakup and was, like, super miserable, like, as well, and she, like, I've never met somebody with more infectious, positive energy. Like, she is just always pulling me out of funks all the time. Come with me. Like, I remember one time she, like, she was like, we're going to a Halloween party, come. And I can be a little bit of, like, a negative Nancy. I'm like, no, fuck that. Like, that's corny. Like, I'm not going. And she literally pulled me out of my bed, threw me in her room, started painting my face. I was like, you're coming with me. And I was like, fine. And I had fun.
That is awesome.
You know? And it's
that
like,
is badass.
I never have had anybody do that for me or ever wanted anyone to do that for me. You know? Because, like, I'm very much, like self-sufficient, like, independent. Like, I've always been like that. And then especially having, like, my previous best friend overdose and die, it's like, I haven't let women get very close to me.
Right.
You know? But, like, I don't know, it's like she's helped me kind of, like, heal through some of that. Of, like, oh, I can depend on people again, and I can, like, I'm still pretty selective, but I don't know, it's like, it's really incredible to have you close to me in my bubble.
Yeah.